Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Felix and welcome back to another video. Today's video, we are going to go over one of the biggest topics that I see, or one of the biggest problems that I see a lot of onboarded clients or post-funded clients kind of like experience through, and that is, having those late payments on an individual credit account. And you guys understand that over time, having those late payments can be very damaging to your credit score. Sometimes having your first late payment can even drop your score by 80 to 90 points. And this is something that I kind of experience myself, and then also with a lot of my friends and then clients. So in this video, I just want to make sure that we go over 3 different methods step by step. I'm going to give you guys the template, the walkthrough, the process behind it on how to potentially remove those late payments off your credit report, therefore helping you improve your credit score and making sure that you guys get the best rate possible. So again, late payments is one of the biggest factor affecting your credit score. One missing payment can sting, and if you have otherwise spotless credit, a payment more than 30 days past due can knock off as much as 100 points off your credit score. And then if your score is already low, it can won't hurt as much, but it can still do the damage, right? So what I recommend for this process to work effectively is, if you have old late payments, we want to prioritize those first, and we want to start filing complaints with the first method, which is with CFPB. And then ultimately just want to put a disclaimer out there: if you have an account with more than 3 late payments, the chances of us removing that with any of these 3 methods is going to be very low. In that case, you will want to consider closing the account and then having a credit repair agency or working with us to remove that entirely off your credit report. That's from, again, 4 or 5 years of doing credit repair and then actually working with team members and dealing with clients' profile when it comes to having 3 late payments or more. In that case, it would be more effective if you just close that account down and then have us completely remove it off your credit report without any sort of repercussion, right? So with that being said, we're going to go into the first method, and that is the CFPB method. So first and foremost, you want to sign up for, you want to go to consumerfinance.gov, or what you can do is type in CFPB on Google and then click on the first link. That will prompt you over to the CFPB Consumer Financial Protection Bureau agency website. And then on the right-hand upper corner, there should be an option for you to submit complaint. And then once you scroll down, you click submit complaint again, and it will prompt you to a login or sign up page. So make sure you guys sign up for an account with CFPB, because that is where you are going to, make claims or complaints against those late payments. And again, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is a U.S. government agency that makes sure banks, lender, and other financial companies treating you fairly through their reporting. And I understand banking, when it comes to how credit bureaus work and how banks work, sometimes it can be a little bit shady, a little bit unfair, and most times they're unethical with the reporting, or they have inaccurate reporting. So that's why the agency is formed, is basically using the consumer protection laws against these big institutions in our favors as consumers, to make sure that we're not getting messed up on, right? So first things first, once you sign up, you want to make sure you verify your account through your email, and it will prompt you to a second page, and you want to click on submit a complaint. In this case, you want to make a complaint dependent on the type of account you're trying to remove the late payments on. That can be your mortgage, that can be a title loan, personal loan, advance loan. In this case, it would be credit card. That is the most common product that we see a bunch of you guys have late payments on, which is totally fine. Again, that's why after applying for all of these business credit cards, personal credit cards, just make sure you set them on auto minimum payments, right? Just so you're mitigating any sort of chances of missing those late payments, because you have so much to handle in the first place. What kind of card is it? So if it's a store credit card, that includes like Banana Republic, Ross, a Target credit card, those will fall into this category. In this case, it will be general purpose credit card or charge card, right? So you click next. Okay. So what you want to do now, what type of problem are you facing? Select the one that best describes your complaint. Struggling to pay, closing your account, other features, rewards program, balance transfer, problem with credit report or credit score problem with the purchase shown on your statement, trouble using cards, getting a credit card problem. Okay, so it's not getting a credit card, other features or problem. It might be under this category. Problem with making payments, trouble using a card fees, interest problem with. Okay, so through all these different options, the best option that would fit in your case would be this, I believe. Okay, fees or interest. So actually, this is going to be the best option. Late fee, balance. Let's actually double check that. Not purchase. Hmm. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm giving you guys the best route for this. Okay, problem with credit report or credit score. I'm so dumb. Okay, incorrect information on your credit report, improper use of your credit inquiries. Okay, not in this, unable to get a credit report, monitoring service. Okay, so it will be this one. Okay, account status is incorrect, showing delinquent account when it's not. Okay, so this route is, yeah, so let's just say there's actually four different methods. I would say this is the second method I will recommend. The first method is obviously, calling customer support, calling the upper management, and just voicing your concern to say, hey, I noticed there's a late payment on my credit report, and that is really hindering my process of getting a good rate on my mortgage or a house that I'm planning to purchase in the future. As you can see on the status of my account, in the past 4 or 5 years, I have excellent payment. And again, it might be me or it might be how you guys report it, but this shouldn't be here in the first place. So I do request for a goodwill in terms of removing that late payments for me as a loyal customer in the first place. So if you could do that for me, that would be greatly appreciated. If you do it multiple times and then each time they, say no to you, they wouldn't remove it, then I would kind of like go with CFPB in this case to get that completely removed, right? So again, before doing this, you just want to make sure you call in, voice your concern. If it is your fault, I would just own up to your mistake. If it's not, then obviously you want to blame how their reporting works, and you just want to make sure you leverage that by saying, hey, I've been a loyal customer for X amount of years. I have X amount of deposit. I bring in so much, um, revenue for you. I've been using this card for my business, for my personal expenses. So therefore, just having that late payment is significantly dropping my score. So I do ask for forgiveness on that one late payment, and I promise it wouldn't happen. This is the solution that I'm going to take to make sure it doesn't happen again. I already have a spreadsheet documenting all my credit card, the payment due date, making sure that I pay in advance. And I also set everything on auto payments to make sure that we're mitigating any of that happening in the future, right? So if you're already contacting them and then they keep on saying no, same answer over and over, you would click yes, and then you would click yes, and then you can click yes or no. Okay, so this is where you start describing, your late payments, what happened, include the dates, amounts, and actions that were taken by you or the company. You want to mention you call multiple times. Don't include your personal information such as your name, account number. You just want to state, okay, this is for a Bank of America account ending in XXXX. Normally, you can find that on Credit Karma. It's going to show you at least like the last four digit, something to kind of like classify the account, knowing, hey, if you have a bunch of credit cards under the same institution, which credit card are you kind of referring to in this case, right? This credit card with this 4-digit, number towards the end, and then also the credit limit. This is the recent date that the late payment was slapped on to that credit card account in this case. And what you want to do is make sure you open up the Goodwill letter template that I provided underneath. But basically, what you want to do is you can actually skip all of that and then type to whoever it may concern. Thank you for your time to redo the content of this complaint. I'm writing this complaint because I took notice my most recent credit report compromises a late payment on my Bank of America account reported on this specific date for my whatever full name account. I want you to understand that I do acknowledge and comprehend my financial obligations. If it weren't for this circumstances describe what really happened, I have an outstanding repayment record. I made a miscue and fell behind since then. Give a brief description again of what happened and the solution to how you're going to mitigate this in the future. Since then, I had an impeccable record of on-time payments. I'm planning to purchase a house coming soon, and it came to my notice that having this one late payment on my record would hurt my ability to qualify. I honestly trust that my previous actions do not reflect my creditworthiness and commitment to repayment of debt. It will be a kind gesture. Again, you're asking for a goodwill, but this time you're doing with the agency, the Consumer Protection Agency in this case, right? So you want to copy and paste this, tailor it to specifically what happened to your situation, and then click this. What will be a fair solution? You just say fair solution would be pretty much have this removed off my credit report, and then here's the solution behind what I'm going to do to mitigate this in the future. And then you want to at least upload the document of the late payments or upload the statements, whatever, again, used to classify, used to such as contracts, letters, and receipts. We will forward all of that. Okay, so basically for this document, you can basically use the Goodwill letter, right? And then you want to make sure sender's name, sender's address, your account number, date of sending this letter. You want to make sure you copy and paste this onto Google document, and then make sure you change out all of the things that you need to change out to make this case specifically to you. And then you want to upload this as well, right? So you're basically taking a portion of this and you're listing it here, and then you're taking the letter that you're writing on Word document, and then you're submitting it as an attachment here, and then you click next, and then you submit it. Okay, so next up, what you can do, another method, step by step, is directly sending letters to the agency, to the credit reporting agency as well, right? So now we did it with the Consumer Protection Agency, which will negotiate on your behalf and send it to the agency and the bank. Now you want to send it directly to the credit reporting agency, and you want to make sure you get the what's it called, the address, the forwarding address to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Sometimes when you guys do check your Experian, they might not have the late payment listed on that one specific account, but it does list on Equifax. So in this case, you only send out once. So sometimes, depending on how the reporting work, they might have inaccurate reporting to one agency, but the other agencies are fine. So you want to make sure, hey, if that's happening to all three of the reporting agency, then you want to send 3 different letters to each different forwarding address tailored to those agency, right? So in this case, this is basically what our team created, but we're using, again, the law in our favor to help you negotiate and really remove that off the credit report. Basically, what we're doing is we're saying, hey, if you refuse to delete any inaccurate information, unverifiable information, invalidated information, then we have the option to sue you for up to $5,000, I believe, right? So just redo everything, and then under this section, this is where you want to list all the late payments that are recently on your credit report or previously owed payments that are on your accounts in the first place, right? And then you want to make sure you add you want to add your name, last name, and then 2 forms of ID for identification in this case, right? Don't worry about this. We're actually not sending or CCing any of the law firms. We're just, again, to make it a stronger case by adding more or involving more, protection agency bureaus in this case as part of this case. It will just help you really increase the effectiveness of encouraging that credit bureau or that creditor to help you remove the late payment off your credit report. Okay, so you can send those letter, and then you can do USPS, yeah, USPS Express, and make sure you have the tracking number, and that will tell you when it gets delivered. Sometimes they might mail you back within 30 to 35 days. I would say CFPB is one of the fastest route because normally everything is digitalized in this case, and then actually calling in directly to the creditor will help as well. And then last resort, what you want to do is, let's just say you file with CFPB, you called in, and then you also send individual letters to each of the reporting agencies. Now you want to do is open up the request for late payment forgiveness on credit report, and you want to directly send a email to the following CEOs of each of these banks that are, obviously correlated to the account that you're trying to remove the late payments on, right? So these are emails that we found online. Pretty much we tested it. Some of them work, some of them don't, but it's worth a try in this case. And what you want to do is copy the subject line, send an email, full name, account number, right? Whatever account number it is that you're trying to remove that late payments off. And basically the email is saying, hey, hope you're doing well. I'm writing to you as value customer, as a loyal customer of Bank of America. I've been a loyal customer for X amount of years and always appreciated the services and support by your bank, reaching out to discuss a matter that's been concerned to me recently. Unfortunately, due to this circumstances, encounter a setback to the late payment that was on my Bank of America account. I do take full responsibility. Again, depending on how the situation goes, you want to make sure you change out this part. I always strive to maintain a positive credit history and committed to satisfying the situation promptly. Again, I'm requesting your assistance in exploring the possibility of removing that late payment forgiveness on my credit report. And then you want to provide a little bit more context, and then just send that over via email to one of the, to the bank that you have the late payment on. So keep in mind, the CEO won't directly see the email, but their assistant will see it, and then depending on how that process works, they might forward it over to a different department to have that case investigated. In that case, normally they will remove it off your credit report. Okay, so again, I gave you guys 4 different methods. Again, just calling in, filing with CFPB, filing directly with, sending handwritten letters or letters in general and shipping that to the credit bureaus, and then lastly messaging the CEO via email and having their executive assistant read it and send it to a different department for it to be evaluated, investigated. So again, you don't have to pay for any credit repair. In this case, I'm saving you guys a lot of money. I'm giving you guys the tools and the systems and the process and the methods step by step in order to really help you guys remove those late payments off your credit report, because I do understand it takes so long for you to build up to your score to where you want it to be, but sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes banks do kind of like fuck you over, and you want to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to get those removed. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, please let me know. But I'm gonna attach all of those late payments templates, the emails of the CEOs in the bottom section. So make sure you download those as well. And then if you guys have any questions, make sure to comment down below. Okay, see you guys in the next video.